Before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that this is a compilation video of all the videos I've made on Dandadan, so I hope you guys enjoy. People who watch anime are bound to run into a show where they go and watch the first episode after they see it on TikTok, or they get a recommendation from a friend because apparently this shit is peak. And after watching the first episode, they go, bruh, the fuck just happened? Because that was my exact reaction after seeing the abomination that is Dandadan. From the span of 22 minutes, I saw a girl just try to fight her ex-boyfriend and lose, to eventually just unlocking psychokinetic powers that blows up a UFO that had 3 aliens on it that tried abducting her and extracting her uterus. Like, bro, where the fuck did we go wrong, bruh? Dandadan is probably one of the first animes I have ever seen where I feel like the entire first episode was just a super freaky acid trip for no reason at all. And I don't mean freaky as in supernatural, paranormal, Danny Phantom type shit. I mean freaky as in sausage party freaky. So let's recap some of the freakiest moments from this premiere episode of Dandadan. However, before we get into that, I'm gonna give y'all some quick context. So this episode starts off with this girl named Momo Ayase who gets dumped by her douchebag of a boyfriend and gets her shit rocked while it happens. And while moping over the loss of her now ex-boyfriend, she sees this kid just getting picked on, so she steps in for a second to get them to knock it off. But then this nerd reasonably gets the impression that she wants to be friends even though she doesn't, but he doesn't take the social hints before she screams,
"That's why your ass gets absolutely 0 bitches."
Which leads us to freaky moment number 1, the freaky ass grandma. So Momo befriends this kid dubbed Okarun, and she gets into an argument with this nerd about whether aliens or ghosts exist for like absolutely 0 reason at all. It was so random, it's as random as the fucking evil jungler and Hakuto memes on TikTok. But anyways, both of them are determined to prove each other wrong. So Momo and this nerd with glasses having ass go to 2 different places. Momo goes to this building where there's supposed to be an alien sighting, and this nerd goes to an abandoned tunnel where he was supposed to see a ghost. And guess what? They were both fucking right. But this is when shit starts to hit the fucking fan. Because this nerdy ass motherfucker ran into this decrepit old hunched over ass grandma dubbed Turbo Granny. The fuck kind of name is Turbo Granny? She says one line to him saying bro could suck on her titties, but he was going to get that Hakuto treatment and snatch his dingling from it. Like, bro, how the fuck is this shit relevant to the plot? Hello? And bro, who the fuck is actually calling this shit peak? So bro freaks the fuck out and gets to step in because he don't want head from no grandma that says she was gonna steal his dingling, but realizes they call this motherfucker Turbo Granny for a reason, and he could not outrun this motherfucker. Momo realizes that something wrong is happening and tries to go help him, but then out of nowhere, she gets jumped and kidnapped by these motherfuckers, which leads us to freaky moment number 2. So apparently, these aliens called the Serpo, which is an all-male alien species, kidnapped her and ripped all her shit up and said some, "Hey, we're really friendly aliens, we promise, we're not gonna hurt you." Yo, what's good? Let's smash so we can learn how to reproduce. I know you want some of this mystery glue, you feel me? These aliens went from nonchalant dreadheads to Asian TikTokers whenever they see an ABG around Seaside Bakery real quick. They unleashed their inner Bryson Tiller. We're seeing a P. Diddy freak off happen right now. And then, one of these aliens proceed to whip their shit out on screen. Like, hey fucking yo! And they tried to make her horny on command using psychokinesis? Like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like, this seems like a plot point to a fucking hentai or some shit. Like, bro, this girl almost gets R-worded on screen, which thankfully didn't happen. So Okarun ended up getting possessed by Turbo Granny and proceeded to teleport through this bitch's phone over a phone call and chomps on this motherfucker nuts and just goes absolutely crazy. And with the help of some insane plot armor, this bitch learns psychokinesis and escapes these creepy ass aliens. And then we also learned that this Turbo Granny straight up took this motherfucker dingling, and the only way to lift the curse she placed on him and get his dingling back is to challenge her again at the same tunnel that bro got cursed in. And this is the plot for the fucking anime, to get his dingling back. What the actual Oh yeah, and apparently this girl Momo falls for this guy whose name is Ken Takakuro, which is the same name as the person that she admires. So yeah, I don't really know how the fuck that works. But bro, although I might have made it seem like I hate this anime, I really don't. I was just freaking out about the crazy shit that happened this episode because I have never seen anything like this. But it has certainly piqued my interest because the humor is so random and stupid, and it reminds me of like Kill la Kill, just slightly. Dandadan's second episode recently came out, and it has only gotten even crazier and out of pocket. Since Dandadan is in the hot seat for anime right now, and understandably so with how chaotic the first episode was, we just gonna go over some of the second episode's most notable and goofiest moments. Most importantly, we're gonna go over how Okarun turned into a nonchalant redhead. So the episode starts off with Momo basically gaslighting Okarun into never saying his actual name again. I guess bro just doesn't exist anymore, and she just officially dubs him Okarun. Anyway, she spends the entire rest of the night making sure that Okarun's turbo granny doesn't come out, and they arrive at Momo's house. Y'all know what teenagers do when they finally get an enclosed space to themselves, right? The guy gets automatically set on fire and almost fucking dies. Like, motherfucker, what? So this bitch quite literally threw this motherfucker into the river to make sure he didn't burn to death. Bro, I swear to God, this dude Okarun's luck is actually insane. Bro got possessed by a cursed spirit that took his dingling, and now he stepped onto some random bitch's house and got set on fire. Like, bro, the man upstairs was literally looking down on him saying, "Hey, Okarun, you ain't getting no play tonight, motherfucker." I'm just kidding. This bitch's house has a curse repellent to make sure that Turbo Granny or other P. Diddy's don't follow Momo home. And then they finally get to have a really nice heart-to-heart conversation. Boy, so like, what's it like to not have a dick anymore? It's actually none of your damn business. Boy, ain't that old ass bitch say she stole your shit? Is it there or not? Oh my god, that bitch is absolutely missing. What? Now you gotta show me, Hey now, you freaky ass bitch.
A few inches later.
I had no friends, and I was a depressed loser that jerked it to the thought that aliens would be my friends. But that's when I met you, and wanted to be your friend since I was a stupid fucking loser that nobody talked to me. I had so much respect for you, and you standing up for me since I'm a beta male that can't fight my own battles. You're so above me and so much better than me, and you are so cool, and I'm just a big nobody. Did I mention that nobody really likes me? Oh my fucking god, bro, we get it. Shut the fuck up. Girl, the only reason nobody's your fucking friend is because you're not a nonchalant redhead like Duke Dennis, and you give a fuck too much about what people think about you. Like, bro, if I'm being for real, she's actually trying to comfort this dude and is being a really good friend. But do you guys want to know what this motherfucker says to all this? Bitch. Bro, this shit was actually so funny when I first watched it because it just came out of nowhere and it caught me so off guard. And now they're just fighting over some stupid bullshit when they realize, shit, we never put the barrier back on. So these two are currently getting jumped by this alien that the Serpo sent after them, which is when Okarun gets an idea. Bro can theoretically control the demons coming inside of him. So Momo uses her psychokinesis so that Turbo Granny takes over his body, but not his mind. And before they get their cheeks absolutely clapped by this fake-ass pseudo-wudo, Okarun manages to save both of them in his controlled state. And bro looks absolutely dripped the fuck out. So much so that his whole personality shifted from this...
What about if anything's there or not, Div? Honest to God, that's my real name.
...to this. Damn, I'm searching for power. That's cool, I guess. Type shit. Bitch, why you talking like that? Stop. That shit is not cute. My bad, shorty. I just be chilling. Type shit. Stop saying that shit on God. You tweaking, bitch. Type shit. Bro actually did a whole 180 on his personality and became a nonchalant redhead. Watching this episode for the first time, I thought this shit was absolutely hilarious. Either way, the big-ass alien is still absolutely shitting on them, regardless of Okarun's new controlled power. And bro, Momo is getting absolutely cooked while still controlling the Turbo Granny. She was getting beat so bad, she turned into a subtraction sign. She trying to act tough by saying so, is that for real all you got? But that was in fact not all he got. Bro literally started throwing hands, beating this bitch relentlessly. My God. However, they end up clapping the shit out this alien thanks to Momo's quick thinking to put the barrier back on without Okarun being affected. But after defeating this motherfucker, she passes out, leaving Okarun to be possessed once again and Turbo Granny about to go on an insane rampage. I just gotta say, this episode was not that bad. The humor, the action, Okarun getting a main character power-up and just switching up his personality is just amazing. More episodes of Dandadan have recently aired, and the series has actually gotten so ridiculous. Like, I'm confused on what is even happening right now. Everything just feels like a fever dream, especially with the introduction of this delusional fake-ass bitch right here, which I'm gonna get into later in this video. Today, we're just gonna go over some of the most notable moments from Dandadan's episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6. So after Momo passes out from episode 2 and Okarun gets possessed once again by Turbo Granny, we get the introduction of this absolute gilf, which turns out to be Momo's grandma, and she takes care of Turbo Granny. She ends up telling Okarun that he's gonna have to train his body in order to handle Turbo Granny's powers that are still inside him. But Turbo Granny hears this shit and pulls a deal on Momo and tells her,
Well, bitch, you ain't getting no prep time. You is not Batman. Come to the tunnel and come fight me, or else these motherfuckers gonna die.
So Okarun and Momo try to get Turbo Granny to chase them outside of the city limits where her power can't be used. And after about 20 minutes of running away and absolutely cooking Turbo Granny, Okarun gets his dick back. Well, at least he thought. See, he only got his dick back, but he failed to realize that his balls were still missing too. Like, bro, how do you not notice that your balls are missing? It's literally attached to your dick. You can't miss that shit. And he tried to tell Momo the situation at school, but she was low-key being embarrassed because she secretly has a crush on him and her friends were teasing her or whatnot. So she accidentally just tells him to go f off. Like, damn, girl, is it that hard to acknowledge you might be into him? Anyways, this predicament is what causes us to be introduced to this new main character. While moping and thinking about how Momo just told him to go screw off, he accidentally bumps into this strawberry shortcake-ass character whose name is Aira Shiratori. And at first glance, you might think that she seems super nice and really down to earth, and also maybe a little stupid. As soon as she starts flirting with this man Okarun, which honestly threw me off at first, because if you know anything about Okarun, this motherfucker has zero riz. His Turbo Granny transformation is the closest thing he's got to pulling the HUDs. And next thing you know, coincidentally, Momo comes and sees this bitch flirting and touching up on him and then saying goodbye. And you might be thinking, uh-oh, typical love triangle. Yeah, that's so predictable, man. But dude, get this. As soon as Aira walks past Momo, she says yeah, I can tell that boy ain't ever get no play. He asked me to call him a good boy and started saying he had crazy aura and sang lyrics from Thick of It. Like, doesn't everybody know that song is Buns? But damn, that was probably his only conversation with an actual woman like me ever. And Momo gets pissed when she hears this shit. So she just casually drops a pan on her fucking head and walks past her holding onto Okarun, being like, Okarun, please tell me about that Mango Mango song you've been talking about. Some bitches just don't have good music taste. Eventually, the two make up after whatever the fuck this was, and that's when Momo finds out that Okarun doesn't have his balls anymore, which leads to the realization that Turbo Granny was still hiding inside of Okarun, but much weaker, and her consciousness was transferred into this cat by Momo's grandma, which turns out to be the cat from the Dandadan ending. So now Okarun is on the quest to find his balls, which Turbo Granny says she dropped when she was quote-unquote defeated. And guess what, bruh? This bitch has them. And because she touched his balls, she's some reason able to see curses and Momo's psychokinetic hands that dropped a fucking pan on her head. I don't even know how this makes any sense, but whatever. But because of this incident, she thinks that Momo is some spawn of the devil or some shit like that. So she gets her friends to jump Momo after school and uses this cross and rubs Okarun's balls in her face to try and exorcise her on some weird god complex shit. Okarun ends up finding them and tries to warn Momo about the curse that was following Aira, but it was too late. This creepy ass curse has a weird mother-daughter obsession and wanting girls to call her mommy, but she is literally the definition of being worse than Chop. She's literally grotesque shit. Hey yo, as I'm editing this video right now, the 7th episode for Dandadan came out, and I watched that shit, and holy fuck was it depressing. This acrobatic silky yokai had probably one of the most depressing backstories I've ever seen. For this show to go from so goofy to serious and nail these moments just makes it stand out so much. Anyways, I'm gonna let y'all get back to the actual video. She gobbles up Aira, Okarun, and Momo. But you know that cross that Aira was using to try and exorcise Momo with? Yeah, that shit was a fucking lighter. And because she swallowed some of her hair that she used to trap Momo with, Momo lit her hair on fire from the inside out and she ended up throwing them up. Now, both Okarun and Momo are about to square up with this grotesque ass curse. I'm not gonna lie guys, the quality of these past episodes have been so solid. As much as I shit on this anime for its stupidity, I don't think I've seen an anime that balances action, story, and romance so well into one pile of goofy ass entertainment as Dandadan has so far. Another episode of Dandadan recently dropped and things are getting very heated. Like bro, how and why is this stupid anime cliche happening right now, bro? In this video, we just gonna go over the recent events that occurred in episode 8 of Dandadan. So the scene starts off with these motherfuckers having a full-on mukbang after acrobatic Silky's death. And these two motherfuckers are just arguing on some bullshit. Meanwhile, Granny Seiko is just instigating this shit by siding with Aira and being like, ooh, Aira just called you a bum, Momo. Personally, I would not take that shit. And after finishing her 5-course meal, Aira takes off. But before she does, she asks Okarun like, yo, you spawned of the devil ass bitch. Why'd you save me? And Okarun just says, I mean, I would help anyone if they're in trouble. And after saying that shit, Aira hits us with the anime gas. And that's how I knew, like, bruh, oh my fucking god. This girl fell for him and it's gonna be a fucking love triangle. Ain't no fucking way, bruh. Like, dog, if y'all could not tell by my last video, I hate Aira, bro. And I was getting shit for this in my last video and everyone was white knighting this bitch in the comments because of the manga. But guess what? I don't care. And this episode furthered my hatred towards her because of this scene I'm about to tell y'all about. So the next day when Okarun and Momo go to school, Momo's like, okay, so are you down to get some lunch later? I really want to eat my lunchly with you. Actually, I had plans to listen to the Talk Tool podcast and watch Stillwater for an hour. Okay, maybe after school we can talk about funk music. I'm sorry, Momo, I'm gonna be busy continuing my edging streak. Basically, Okarun was coming up with some bullshit excuse to not hang out with Momo for a bit. So after Okarun tells her that he's not able to hang out, she's visibly bummed out. And during the school day, she goes to get some drinks for her friends and she hears and sees this motherfucker Okarun on top of this bitch Aira. And I know for a damn fact, Okarun ain't the type of person to pull some bullshit like this. So we get the backstory of how they ended up in this situation. It turns out that Okarun was actually just on his winter arc because he wanted to get stronger for Momo so that he could maintain his powers better and max out his aura. Fucking god, I can't believe I just said that. Anyways, Aira responds out of nowhere and just completely starts confessing all her feelings for Okarun. Even though she thought he was a quote-unquote demon, she had feelings for him. This is when things started to get weird, bruh. This bitch Aira tells Okarun to be a good boy and close his eyes and tries to land a kiss on this motherfucker. But Okarun was like, hey bitch, get your stank cooch off me. So apparently, although Aira is super popular with everybody in the school, every simp in school wants her, she's basically like a newborn baby when it came down to flirting with someone that she actually likes and wants to be with. Which is mind-blowing because she was doing this shit effortlessly with Okarun beforehand. But now that she actually likes him, it's a whole different ballgame and she has zero clue what she's doing. And guess what she did to prepare for this confession? This bitch went through her dad's movies and Playboy magazines and took notes from that shit. Like, what the f? So Aira is going full Diddy mode on Okarun because Okarun is not trying to get kissed by the school boss. So they start scrapping, but Aira does this little sweep to Okarun, which causes her to fall and Okarun to fall right on top of her for Momo to see. As soon as Momo sees this shit, she's like, oh, hell no. Okarun was that down bad he fucking the school bob in school? And she is visibly upset because she low-key, high-key likes Okarun. So when Okarun tried explaining the whole situation, she was like,
man, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Nobody asked you that a bitch ass thing. You better shut the fuck up.
But it was obviously a misunderstanding that probably isn't gonna be resolved for another few episodes. But after this whole ordeal, Okarun is just chilling in class when his whole class just disappears. What the fuck? And everywhere he looks, it is pitch black outside. He ends up finding Aira and this Floyd Mayweather ass alien trying to box with Okarun. He ends up trying to swing on him, but Okarun just dodges that shit. But then Okarun starts getting jumped by the freaky ass aliens from episode 1. Ah, hell nah. And this time they were here for Okarun because of Turbo Granny's powers overwhelming them in the first episode. Like, dog, on some serious shit, why can't Okarun actually catch a fucking break? Someone or something is always after this man dick. Like, bro, hop off his shit for real. Let the man breathe. And before these aliens have the chance to chop off this man dingaling, Aira transforms into acrobatic Silky. Even though I don't like her, I can't even lie, this transformation shit was actually kind of hard as fuck. Anyways, this episode was pretty good. We probably gonna get more action between Okarun, Aira, Momo, and these fuckhead ass aliens. Unfortunately, this video, which I would have put into the compilation, has a really good chance of getting demonetized, so I'm not gonna put it in this compilation. But if you do want to check it out, it is on my channel, so I hope you guys understand and enjoy this last bit. Dandadan has recently concluded its first season after 12 episodes, and within the last 3 episodes, we got an introduction to another one of the main characters of the show named Gigi. And this dude is the most unserious motherfucker I have ever seen in anime. Like, bro, just look at this clip.
Oh, because I totally thought it was like that one meme. These nuts!
Oh my god, chat, we are so cooked. Who gave the okay for the dub line to be this shit? Like, my smile actually just faded away when hearing it for the first time. So in this video, we just gonna be talking about Gigi's introduction and his goofiest moments, while also recapping some of the most notable moments from the last few episodes of Dandadan Season 1. So after sending a cow off to be an alien's blood supply, and no, I am not explaining this stupid ass shit, Momo answers the door to just see this random tall ass guy standing in front of her house, which the audience have no idea who this is yet. But Granny Psycho clears up this mysterious, nonchalant looking guy as Momo's childhood friend and first love. And when Okarun hears this shit, he's like, oh nah, I might get cooked and put in a blender. Cause he thinking that this dude is the ultimate Duke Dennis final boss. He's tall, athletic, serious looking, and Okarun is glazing this dude, saying he got mad aura or some shit. Like, Okarun, get off your knees and get up, bruh. But then Gigi just pulls whatever this shit is. Dude, please tell me what the fuck he's doing. Like, bro, this is the literal opposite of how I thought this dude was gonna act. When I first saw this dude Gigi, I genuinely thought he was gonna go full I'm a Steel Girl, Duke Dennis Riz type shit on Momo, but nah. Bro is acting like a goofy ass Looney Tunes character and instantly lost all and any aura he had. And when Aira sees him for the first time, of course she's off in her own little imagination world being dumb as fuck and just runs out of the house after mumbling about absolutely nothing. Wait, hold on, pause. Why the fuck is she bolting out the house like this, bro? But what the actual fuck? But the reason this motherfucker Gigi is here in the first place is cause he's staying with Momo because of a curse that's been haunting him and his family or something like that. So Momo is gonna go with Gigi to his house to exercise it soon. But in the meantime, bro is enrolled in Momo's school, and I got huge ass secondhand embarrassment watching him introduce himself to Momo's class. Cause bro, have somebody that's chop shit, scratch that, somebody that's just average looking do the same shit Gigi is doing, and they are instantly getting flamed. Because what the fuck are these overly expressive TikTok cosplayer gestures he's doing right now, bruh? But because bro looks absolutely majestic, nobody gives a shit what he's doing or saying. They're all just glazing him. These girls are like, oh my god, please have my baby. And Momo is so pissed off at this bullshit. But then Gigi jokingly yells out to the class, yo, she was on my dick last night, you feel me? Type shit. Like, nah, bro. Cut that shit out. Okarun, I'ma need you to go all out or some shit, cause I would not take this bullshit. Fast forward to their lunch break, Okarun is hitting the weights when Momo asks to eat lunch with him and offers to feed him, yo. And at this point, I'm proud that bro is finally getting some action, and I'm happy for it. But then Gigi had to spawn in out of nowhere and just cockblock my boy, making him sad as this girl was laughing to another man's jokes. Ah, hell nah. And when this happens, Okarun just walks away. Like, Okarun, if you don't stand up for yourself and square up with this dude and let him know what's up, like, you got one of your balls, bro. Use them. Anyways, I can't believe and describe the absolute fuckery on what happens next, but there's this anatomy statue that runs past them, and cause they think it has one of Okarun's balls, they follow him. But bro is just trying to meet up with another anatomy statue and profess his feelings, which is something this motherfucker can't do. And while listening to this anatomy statue profess his love, he's like, damn, I feel that shit for real. And so he tries to do whatever he can to win over Momo's attention, and he ends up going with Momo and Gigi to Gigi's house the very next episode. Nothing really happens in the final episode except these really creepy ass men trying to do weird shit to Momo in the bathhouse, and Okarun actually gets to know Gigi better and they start bonding with one another, and Okarun finally made his first ever male friend, and his first ever male friend is the most nonchalant friend I have ever seen doing zesty ass shit like this.
I win.
Anyways, by the end of the episode, they figure out some weird shit is going on with the size of the house, so they break open the wall in one of the rooms to the house, and they find a pitch black room, acting like they just found a golden scar or some shit. And that's how they end the season. Obviously, so many questions to be answered, but I'm hyped because it is already announced that the next season will be released in spring 2025. So that is going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and a comment down below what anime you guys would like me to make a video on next, and I'll see y'all in the next one. We out this, so